Today we're going to be talking about how to actually shift your identity and reinvent yourself in 2024.
First time in a long time, hurting deeply inside.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chelsea. If you're new here, I do lifestyle, beauty, fashion, self-care, and just feminine energy talk. So if that sounds like something that you would love to watch, definitely stay tuned because I have some great content coming up for you guys. Let's go ahead and get into today's video. Today we're going to be talking about how to actually shift your identity and reinvent yourself in 2024. I made a video similar to this about your 2024 glow up and how you're actually going to reach those dreams. That video was centered around physically and mentally glowing up within the last 6 months of the year. I wanted to talk a little bit more about that so that we can actually become our highest self this year. If you are new to my channel, I am currently on a glow up journey, you guys. I want to become the best version of myself. That means really stepping into my dream self. And with that being said, I wanted to share some of the tips and habits that I have been incorporating to my habits so that I can achieve my dreams. I wanted to share these tips with you guys because I want you guys to reach your highest self as well and really see growth and progress within your goals. And in this video, I will show you how you're going to actually shift your identity to achieve your goals. That's the whole purpose of an identity shift, is to really step into that future version of yourself and really show up as that girl that we both know that you are. One thing I want to touch on is that you cannot reinvent yourself without shifting your current version of yourself. So you can't get to a new level without letting go the old you. And that's so important when it comes to a leveling up journey or a glow up journey, is to let go of that old self. Because honestly, if you think about it, your identity determines where you are in life. What I mean by that is how you view yourself determines where you will go in life. If you view yourself as less than or not worthy of, you won't receive the opportunities that you have always wanted. You won't be able to get to the next step or that next goal that you have for yourself if you view yourself as undeserving. The person that has everything that you want, the first thing that they do is view themselves as a deserving person. They deserve those opportunities. They deserve that new love, that new life. They deserve those things in their life, and that's how they show up. So if you have always struggled with your self-worth or doubting yourself, I feel like that would be the first thing that you need to look into, is to change the way you view yourself. I have had to work on this in the past, of viewing myself and being more confident and viewing myself as deserving, especially when you have been through a lot in life. Sometimes it can knock our confidence down, but what you need to do is view yourself as the person who deserves that. That's the only way that you're going to achieve your goals and actually get to that future, the highest version of you. By shifting your identity, your new behaviors will reinforce that. So the more you show up for yourself, the more you stop procrastinating, the more you actually believe in yourself, you're going to naturally embody that person who actually shows up and gets the things that they want and deserve. Sometimes you really have to have the faith before you even get the actual thing. You have to kind of view yourself as, this is who I am now. I no longer allow my lack of belief in myself to take over my entire life. This is who I am now. I am a person who is disciplined. I'm a person who is consistent. I believe in myself, and I am determined to actually reach my goals. Show up as that future version of yourself. And even if you have a mentor or somebody that you have been watching online and you really like the way that they show up in life, think about the qualities that they possess and how they actually show up. Even when they're having their rough days, do they still show up? And then ask yourself, do you show up when you have your rough days? You know, sometimes we really have to do that self-reflection in order to reach that higher version of ourselves. So I would say that would be the first tip to shifting your identity, is changing the way that you view yourself. View yourself as worthy, view yourself as deserving, view yourself as that future version of you. And that is the only way that you're going to actually achieve those goals that you've always wanted to achieve. That is the only way that you're actually going to reach the next step in life, is to view yourself as such. Stop with the self-doubt. You need to stop with the negative self-talk. Even if you are hanging around people that are always negative or always complaining, even if your goal is to expand financially, you can't be around people who are always saying that they're broke. Like, no, you can't be around that. Even if their reality may seem as such or may be confirming that, You have to be around people who are going to uplift you and kind of like play into your delulu, okay? Now that doesn't mean we're taking it too far or pretending or making up stuff that we know is like way far-fetched, but you do need people in your life, and you need to be that person yourself that believes in delusion, okay? Sometimes delusion is good. You want to always believe that greater things are happening for you, even if your reality or your 3D is not showing that right now. So I would say that would be tip number 2. Practice being that person that you want to be. You may not be able to show up as that person every single day, especially if your circumstances are currently very challenging. You may not be able to show up as that person every day, but even what I mentioned in my 12 micro habits video, it's about the little steps. So even if you can practice this once a week, take one day a week to pretend or practice being your higher self. So if your higher self is around more affluent people or in affluent neighborhoods or likes to be social, start practicing that. Start going to different coffee shops, start walking in different neighborhoods that you've never walked in. Change your environment. Sometimes it's really that environmental change that we need that is actually going to shift us and actually push us into that direction that we've always wanted to go. So always keep that in mind to change up your habits. Habit changing is going to be so important when it comes to reaching that next version of you. So by going to these places where no one knows you, you can actually be that person that you want to be. So if you are a more elegant person, go to elegant restaurants, go to elegant coffee shops, go to places that you don't normally frequent to shift your identity, to step into that new version of you. I'm going to start going to coffee shops to do my work, number 1, so I can get out of the house and I can actually be out and about, because sometimes with doing this particular job you can feel a little bit isolated because you're always in the house. So I want to start going to different coffee shops and actually doing the things that my future version of myself would do, or even getting myself massages and actually stepping into that new version of me. That future version of me owns multiple businesses. She's very affluent. She has a great social life. She takes care of herself, okay? She takes care of herself. She prioritizes self-care, and then she also does things that are outside of her norm, and that's something that I really want to step into moving forward in this next phase of my life. So I highly recommend you guys do that as well. Practice being that future version of yourself, because that is going to be the exact way that you're going to step into your new identity. My next tip to actually shifting your identity and stepping into that new version of you is to get clear on what you want. You want to embody that confidence. You want to embody that belief. You have to really change. Everything really starts in the mind, you guys. Even before we can have the actual physical thing, it starts up here. You know, even when it comes to like inventions, it all started in their mind first. It didn't just come and pop out of nowhere. It had to take the action to get what they wanted. Tip number 3 when it comes to actually shifting into this new identity is to let go of your old self. I kind of tapped into this topic at the beginning of the video, but it's so important to let go of your old self. That means your old habits. That means the things that no longer serve you. That means the people that no longer serve you. I don't care if it's your closest family member, if they no longer serve you or if they constantly limiting you to this old version of you. Sometimes you may have to let that person go. That's one thing I feel like I'm currently in that phase of in life, is to just let things go. If it does not serve me, or if it doesn't serve a purpose, if it's a habit that is no longer serving me, I have to let it go in order to get to that future version of myself. If you didn't know, I'm a single woman, so I want to have a family one day. So some of the practices that no longer serve me are going to have to be released, so I won't continuously pass down those traumas and things that I have went through in life down to my kids. That's why I think I have been focusing so much on like self-improvement, is because this is bigger than me. It's not just about me, especially if I'm going to have other people in my life that I care about. I want to show up as the best version of myself. So it's not just for YouTube, it's not just for social media, it's really in real life, because I don't want to pass down things that may have been passed down to me. I want to show up differently and to actually get the things that I want and desire, and to get the love and the treatment that I desire. If you don't believe in yourself, or if you don't have confidence, if you don't think that you look good, how do you expect anybody else to think that about you? If you already have that view of yourself before anybody else comes into your life. That's why I think it's so important to let go of that old version of yourself in order to move on, and in order to step into that new version of you. Okay, it's always been in you, because for you to have that desire, it's in you. Okay, she just needs to be brought out a little bit, and it's gonna take you taking the action to actually bring her to life. When it comes to letting go of relationships that no longer serve you, that is an important thing as well, because sometimes you will have people, oh, you never used to act like this, or you never used to think like that. because you're supposed to change. That's the whole point about life. You're supposed to evolve and grow. You're not supposed to be the same person that you were 5 years ago. You may have to re-get to know me. And if you cannot let go of that old version of me, or if you cannot let go of the old viewpoint of me, then maybe we just may have to end it there. We may not be able to continue this relationship. I want people in my life that are open to progression. I want people in my life that are open to evolving and changing, especially things that no longer serve them or are no longer working. If your communication style was not the best 5 years ago, but they constantly remind you of the fact that your communication style wasn't the best 5 years ago, that may not be the person for you, because I'm not that person that I was even 2 years ago. You know, the way I used to handle things 2 years ago is not how I handle it today. Even moving forward, I'm probably not going to be the same person. And that's a good thing, because you want to constantly evolve, especially if it's of benefit to you and other people. I feel like you should always be open to change and open to learning. And even though that's like such a harsh reality, that's really what it may take in order for you to reach your version of who you want to be. I would say my last and final tip, I think we're on tip number 4 or tip number 5. For tip number 5, I would have to say embody the person that you want to be, okay? We're not faking it. We're not doing it just for a week or two and then we're just like, oh, an event happens and then we're automatically back to our old self. Whatever changes that you want to make in your life, you need to actually step into that role and be that. Just like even if you got hired for a new position, you can't do the old stuff that you did at your old job. It's not going to suit this current role that you're entering in. You have to make that change, and you have to actually step up to the plate and do the things that you need to do for this new role that you're stepping into. Honestly, that's really how I look at it. I am stepping into this new version of myself, this new role per se. Especially even when it comes to my channel, I'm stepping into a new direction. Like I said, I want to be driven by purpose, not just by what's trending or what I think will go viral per se. I want to actually make an impact and actually develop communities. Of course, like I said, nobody is perfect. So you're gonna have your days where you just not feeling it. And that's okay, because you are a human being and nobody is perfect. And nor are you expected to be perfect. If the type of person that you want to be and become goes to the gym every day, you can't do it for 2 weeks and be like, oh, okay, well, I did it and it just didn't work. No, you have to constantly show up even when you didn't feel like it. You know, you may have a bad day, whether it's just going to the gym and walking on the treadmill for 10 minutes. It's about consistency, and that follows up with discipline, because motivation is inconsistent. It's not going to be here sometimes, and sometimes you're going to watch something like this particular video and you may be inspired to actually take action, but motivation disappears, okay? Sometimes it's not always there. You're not always going to feel motivated to do something, but that's where that discipline comes in so that you can be consistent. I would say always keep that in mind when it comes to your goals, to actually lead with discipline. Discipline is going to be the main thing and the most important thing when it comes to shifting into this new version of yourself, you guys. It's not going to be the motivation. You're probably not going to be motivated the whole time throughout this process. You're going to have days where you're just really having a tough week, a tough day, or even a tough month. Sometimes it is like that. Life be lifing, you know? So it's so important to take time to develop those habits and embody the person that you want to be. That is the only way that you're going to shift and actually step into that new version of you. And I wanted to make this video because it kind of piggybacks on my 6-month glow up and how we're actually going to reach our goals within the next 6 months. The next 6 months for me are very personal. I really want to see some growth and development. Life can get real serious and overwhelming, especially if you are not on top of your mindset. If you don't change your mindset, nothing is going to change. If you don't change how you view challenges, nothing is going to change. If you let every challenge or your 3D, your current reality, to always hold you back from getting the things that you want, that will forever be your excuse. You will wake up and time will have passed you by and you literally have gotten nothing that you have wanted, but you're constantly struggling. If anything, I want to receive something out of this. You know, I'm not just going to be going through pain and suffering for no reason. I need to get something out of it. And I think that's going to be the most important takeaway from this video is your mindset. Your mindset has to shift first in order for you to become that best version of yourself, okay? Because you know that you're capable. That's the whole reason why you're watching this video. If you didn't feel like you could even get to this step, the first step is even watching motivational videos or mindset videos and podcasts and different things that actually develop your mind to look at things differently, you are already halfway there, okay? So that was the first step, is you actually taking action to try to see how you can change things for your life and how you can actually make things better. I hope this video was very helpful, and I hope it was encouraging as well to let you know that you can do it too. You may have your difficult days, but at the end of the day, you got this. I believe in you, and you definitely can make your dreams come to a reality. I really wish that, and I hope that for you. So if you're watching this video and you did love it and you want to share these tips, don't forget to hit the share button. We are almost at 50K subscribers, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of you guys, and I hope that you really did take away something from this video. If you want to watch more videos like this, or if you haven't caught up on my latest video, definitely watch that. So I highly recommend you guys check that out first, because this is going to actually show you how to glow up mentally and physically and reach your goals in 2024. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.